Where do I go with this one? This weekend's going to be real interesting, guys. Huskies taking on the Oregon Ducks at home. And for those of you who don't live in this area, you might not have a full grasp of how much we hate the Oregon Ducks right now. But maybe this will help. We have not beaten them since 2003. I mean, what was going on in 2003? The Sonics, I think, had just traded for Ray Allen. I mean, it might have been that year that we traded for Ray Allen. I think the Matrix sequels came out that year. The Mariners still had most of their 116 win team together. I mean, it's been a while since we've beaten these guys, and most of those games haven't even been close. So it's been tough. I mean, a lot of these games are over by halftime. Most of them are over by the third quarter. It's been tough. There's no other way to put it. And here's something I haven't seen in a long time. I logged on to ESPN this morning. The Huskies are favored to win this game. I don't know how much I like that. So let's talk about this game, the football aspect. I already talked about the hate aspect, where it's just, a team beats you 11, 12 times in a row. You're going to hate them. But just to talk about football. See, here's the thing. Oregon, the secret's out. There's no more hiding it. There's no more giving them credit. There's no more giving them a pass. They're not good. The Oregon Ducks this year are not good. Maybe they're not bad, but they're definitely not good. I mean, their defense has been exposed in every game they've played. They've given up at least 24 points in every game. In several of these games, they've been absolutely gashed for 40 or more. And, the first loss was in Michigan State. Forget that. I mean, Michigan State's a good team. That's a respectable loss. But they got murdered at home by Utah. And even then you would say Utah's really good. We didn't know how good Utah was at the time. And now we know exactly how good those guys are. And then at that point, it should be, wow, we just got our wake-up call. We need to kick ass the whole rest of the season just so we have a chance to win the Pac-12. It might already be over, but we need to win out, and we need to look good doing it. Last week, at home, the Cougars won in double overtime. I caught the end of that game. Props to those guys. I mean, I may hate you guys as a rival, but it's not a furious hatred that I hate you guys with. It's just you're the other team that plays in the NCAA Division I in this state. That's really all it is to me. But point is, there's no more excuses for Oregon. There's no more, oh, they got caught sleeping, or, oh, they played good teams. This is a team with real problems, and this is a team that will not be sniffing one of the big-time bowl games this year. And for us to be favored against Oregon by 3 points, which is kind of basically saying the experts think both these teams are about equally good, that's a new look. Every year, generally, I go into the Oregon game expecting to get murdered, and most of the time I'm not surprised by what happens. But here's the thing. I don't know if I like going into this game expecting the Huskies to win, because I kind of should. Oregon, they're not good. They've already kind of shown themselves to be a team that's not going to be a upper echelon team this year. And Washington has performed better than I thought they would to this point. They had a big upset last week. This game's at home. I know they're going to be up for it. Here's my concern. Oregon, their problem is their secondary. That's the biggest problem with the team. That's why they're giving up so many points. That's why they're losing these games. Their secondary is trash. And teams like Michigan State and Utah, because they're really good teams, were able to expose it. And a team like Washington State, and they're not good either, but they got Mike Leach. They run the air raid offense. They pass the ball 70 times a game sometimes. And when they see a bad secondary lining up across from them, their eyes get wide and they start drooling, thinking about all the stuff they can do against, a bad secondary because all they do is pass the ball. They run the spread out there. So that's something that plays right into the Cougars' hands. This Washington Husky team, to take advantage of their bad secondary, is going to have to lean on some receivers who are good, but they're not special, and a quarterback who has been hit or miss, touch and go to start the season, and I'll say it for the 100th time, is a true freshman. So basically what you're saying is, for us to do what we need to do to win this game, for us to put ourselves in a position to win this game, we need our true freshman quarterback to take a big step forward. And he can do it. He has the talent. He has the pedigree. He's had good games this season. He's had the ability to put up big numbers against lesser teams, but it's not like Oregon's pass defense is great either, so he can do it. It's just a lot of pressure. I mean, what I like is going up against a team that's weak against the run this year, because I do think our running game is pretty strong. You got the veteran in Dwayne Washington, Myles Gaskin. He's a freshman too, but it's a little different for running backs, I think. And we seem to have a pretty good offensive line. So that's what I would like to lean on. But Oregon's run defense isn't that bad. They're top half of the nation, actually. Maybe it's not a good run defense, but it's not necessarily a bad run defense. So there's that. The other part is the Oregon offense isn't really the problem. I mean, they put up good points in every game they played except for Utah, where the offense really did kind of lay an egg out there. But they're not getting much from their quarterbacks, Vernon Adams, and I can't remember the other guy's name, Lockie. He's played some too, and they've been good. They've been, pretty good. They're certainly not lighting the league on fire, but they've been doing all right. They've been doing their thing. But that's not what worries me. Here's the thing. Last week we beat the Trojans, and it was a great win. I loved it. But a part of that win, like I said in my post-game video, was that USC never devoted themselves to running the ball. They had success running the ball, and then they got away from it, and they wanted to pass it. They wanted to make plays down the field. I think just because they've got the Heisman candidate quarterback and they expect to be able to do something like that. And by the time they decided to commit themselves to the run, it was already pretty late in the game, and it was too late for them. So I think I know where the strength of this defense is, and it's with the pass defense. Oregon is not going to have the problem that USC had. They are not going to forget to commit to the run. That is a run first, run second, run third team. I mean, they're averaging over 300 yards rushing this year. The quarterbacks have basically been game managers. I think the two guys over 6 games have a total of 9 touchdown passes. They're bus drivers, game managers, and they're running all over everybody. So if I'm Oregon, I look at that and I go, we got to stick to the run. We got to do what we've been doing all year. And this run defense, I'm not saying I think the Huskies' run defense is bad. I just don't know if I trust them to hold up against a rushing attack as good as Oregon has. Like I said, USC had success running the ball on us and would have had a much better chance of winning if they had stuck to the run. So I don't like the way the matchups play. Oregon's going to get their points. I mean, they're getting their points against everybody, but as long as they commit to the run, which I'm sure they will, they're going to put up points, and we might need to score 40 points to win. This is not going to be 17-12 like it was against USC. I don't know if I like putting that much on Jake Browning, but I think it's the case this weekend. I thought it was the case last weekend, and I was proven wrong. This week, I feel pretty sure that it is going to be the case this time. Gonna have to find a way to put up some big points, and I think it's all going to come down to, can Jake Browning exploit the terrible Oregon secondary? As of right now, I don't know what to expect. This is the most interesting Husky game for me in probably 2 seasons, probably since the Stanford game 2 years ago. So I'm not going to guarantee anything. I'm not saying what I expect. I'm wary of going into this game expecting to win, but we have a phenomenal chance to get a big win and put ourselves in prime position to get to a bowl game this year, which is all I want. Well, I'll talk to you guys after the game, whatever happens. It's a late game, so probably not until a day or two later, but that's what I think. Worried about this matchup, but it's an exciting opportunity to end this streak. And hope they do it. See you guys later.